Welcome, everybody, to your Energy Alchemy forecast for the week of October 27th through November 2nd. This is a week filled with opportunity if only we will grab it. And so the energy is fortuitous, but not without the experience of moving through our shadow, our subconscious, these deeper aspects of self. There needs to be a reflection in order to move forward, in order to have the experience that we're moving through this week. And so on today, Sunday, the 27th, no major astrology, but tomorrow, it's not major astrology. On the 28th, on Monday, we have Mars, which is a little bit of a heated energy. It's where we have some drive, some ambition. It is trining, which is a really lovely aspect, Neptune. And so we get this sort of opportunity for spiritual downloads, which is not shocking. We have Halloween this week where the veil is the thinnest. And we're sort of gearing up towards that in the days before. We also on Monday have Venus, which is our planet of love and heart-centered and creativity and all that good stuff. It's squaring, which is a little bit more of a challenge aspect, Saturn, where Saturn is our Neptunian energy. It is in Pisces right now. And so we sort of get this like vamp up and then retraction in the same spaces. And here's what I mean by that. Mars and Venus as energies are the archetypes that work well together, but they are sort of each other's balancers. So Mars is our divine masculine energy. Venus is our divine feminine energy. And they are both pertaining to sex. If you look at the Venus symbol, if you look at the Mars symbol, these are the symbols that you see literally pertaining to gender. Now, I'm going with the binary here, so sorry if you don't fit into these boxes, but just as the example, that Mars is the masculine male energy that we see. It's the male symbol. Venus is the feminine symbol. So putting the gender binaries kind of aside, we have these two sort of really connected energies. And then we have Neptune, which is currently in Pisces, and Saturn, which is currently in Pisces. And they are, one's making a lovely aspect, Mars and Neptune together making a really lovely aspect. And then we got Venus and Saturn kind of making a little bit more of an abrasive. And so we sort of have like a war within around what we're downloading and what we're intuiting and what we maybe want to create moving forward in this world as we're thinking kind of about the year ahead. And so literally, if we're thinking about what is being divined, if you think about as above, what so is below, this could literally be, as we're gearing up towards the election, that divine masculine. I'm not saying that Trump is the divine masculine, but that super masculine energy versus that feminine energy, literally Trump versus Kamala, here in America at the very least. So we might see, not might, we certainly will see some of that unfolding this week. But that's on Monday. Okay. Tuesday, no major astrology. Wednesday, October 30th, we have Mercury, which is the planet of communication, currently in Scorpio, the season that we are in, very deep, very esoteric. It's sensitive, okay? It's intuitive. It is in direct opposition with Uranus, which is in Taurus. And this is something kind of buried underneath the surface that we need to express, or that we've maybe been thinking about, because Mercury can pertain to our thoughts as well on a deeper, more intimate level. Something about that is coming up to be experienced and understood, whether that is within ourselves or kind of out in the world. It's an energy that doesn't really back down, but sort of, if we're talking about Scorpio from that deep, water, it sort of bubbles up to the surface with the Uranus energy. So hold your ground on Wednesday. but do so in a way that feels kind of reflective to what this means for you and what it says about you, okay? And then Thursday, we've got Halloween. The veil is the thinnest. We are able to more deeply communicate with spirit, okay? Again, Mercury being in Scorpio is a perfect time for mediumship and that type of energy. So this, on Halloween, we've got a Mercury, again, our planet of communication and our thoughts, working with Neptune, which is our intuition. So these energies are really great together. This is giving us this opportunity to connect to our higher self or to our ancestors as a day of remembrance if we're thinking about Halloween and Samhain and what it can provide for us on that spiritual level, not just for our sweet tooths. Okay. So it's a really lovely day for healing conversations, for deep, intimate conversations, but also for deep, intimate conversations with our higher self and our ancestors. And then that is leading us to Friday, which is November 1st. Rabbit, welcome to the new month. And that on November 1st, we're kicking the month right off with a new moon in Scorpio. Dark moon, okay? This is about going into the depths of our subconscious landscape. If you think again about the bottom of the ocean, which is where Scorpio rules over, okay? It's dark. It is, the waves are moving up here. The bottom of the ocean floor is still. So the waves are moving. If we think about the ocean as something that is like fluid and consistent and it's being impacted by the moon, on the bottom, still, it's silent, it's dark. The angler fish, the little light bulb over here, is hanging out down there. And there's a lot of pressure. Think about the billionaires that just went down there and imploded, essentially. May they rest in peace, okay? That bottom of the ocean floor energy, dark, still, tight, that is the energy that we can expect to be born right now. So we are able to, during new moons, plant a seed. And so where do you want to dive into the depths of yourself, into your subconscious, into your intuition, and get really super connected to what is coming forward, not just for you in for the rest of the year, but what you want to plant for 6 years, from 6 months from now, okay? And so that's November 1st. And then November 2nd, which is Saturday, we have Mercury, that planet of communication, making its trek to Sagittarius, the archer, the flaming arrow of truth. These Mercury in Sagittarius is the truth teller. It likes to tell the truth. It likes to get to the whole truth and nothing but the truth, okay? And so that is November 2nd. It will be there until January 8th. So we are finishing the year, including a retrograde, with Mercury in Sagittarius. It's a long-lasting transit, but it is also really great, especially right ahead of the election. Mercury in Sagittarius is visionary. It's forward thinking. It is opportunistic. It's jovial. It is able to have foresight. Think about the archer. It needs to have a vision as it pulls its bow back. It needs to aim that vision, and then it needs to let its arrow fly true. And that is where we are as a collective as Mercury moves into Sagittarius on November 2nd. And then on a personal level, where that truth needs to emerge for you is likely wherever you would have Sagittarius in your chart. So you want to pay attention to that, okay? And so now that we're through with the astrology, I'm going to pick some cards from the Solitary Witch, okay? I had to. This is one of my favorite decks by one of my favorite people, Lucy Cavendish. But not only is the artwork absolutely beautiful, stunning, incredible, wonderful on the Solitary Witch, but I had to because it's Halloween, okay? So let's go through our piles. Let's see, I'm just going to give these one nice good shuffle. Okay, let's see. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Those came out all together. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, if you picked pile 1 for this theme of the week, which is opportunity, okay, new opportunities, fresh beginnings, reflections, reflecting into the opportunity, you got the card wishes. Now, this is a really lovely card. This is literally the first in the deck. But this idea of bringing something out into the world that you have been really excited to experience, something that you have kind of been holding on to for a period of time, that you have been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to start taking root. To me, this is giving you a really solid sign. You can even see in this card, there are little fairies, like things are working in the background for you, but you need to, again, talking about that Mercury and Sag, you need to keep that vision strong. You need to understand on a deeper, more intimate level what you are even wishing for, and make sure that the wish that you are hoping to bring to fruition in this world is actually in alignment with the integrity of what you are moving towards with that visionary energy towards the end of the week, okay? Especially with the new moon and that November 2nd energy, Mercury moving into Sagittarius, okay? That's pile number 1. Pile number 2, if you pick pile number 2, she sleeps with the stars. So this to me is also that stuff that is coming through to you is being divined through dream work. And so if your sleep has been off, you need to make sure that you are spending enough time adjusting your schedule so that your sleep is more consistent, because there is something about this energy of looking at this that is making me think that information is coming through to you as through dream work, okay? There is also a message in here about rest. That the idea of continuing to push needs to stop, that you need to actually rest and allow things to unfold in their own time instead of pushing and being on the hamster wheel. You rest. The moon only has the opportunity to shine. It's a bad week because it's a new moon, so there is no light, but the moon only has the opportunity to shine in the darkness. The stars only have the opportunity to shine in the darkness. They need the world to be resting for their beauty to be witnessed. That is the gift of the divine feminine. But there is something to this of like, you're going to burn yourself out, and the new horizons that you're looking for, you don't need to push so hard for them. The opportunities that you're looking for are just coming in, but they won't come in unless you can receive and rest and receive. Okay, so that's pile number 2. Pile number 3, the maiden and the embolic lamb. Okay, I'm not pagan, so I'm not 100% sure that that's how you say it, but okay, what am I feeling here? Interesting, because maiden, as far as like the triple-faced goddess, maiden is the beginning of the cycle. She is learning new information, and if we think about a lamb too, there is something about gentility in the symbolism of the lamb, and so there is this like newness, or this sort of fresh face that is coming forward. And yet, if you can see, the moon had just been full, and so it's kind of in its crone era, if you will. And so the guidance of those who have come before, the moon and the wisdom and the guidance of the crone, of the mother as well, and the fact that this maiden, kind of is nurturing, or will perhaps nurture the lamb. She's got her back to it. But with that being said, to me, there is this idea of a new beginning and being comfortable with the idea of being novice at something, that there is an uncomfortability of being novice, but that to do that, to be novice at something, is to actually practice the grace and gentility within oneself to allow whatever is supposed to be emerging, that you are planting the seeds for, to grow, and to allow that that new energy that you're trying to bring out into the world, it needs that gentility. It needs the grace. It needs, we wouldn't plant a seed and then be like, why haven't you grown yet? So this beginning, you're already in your new beginning. I already feel that. It's just a matter of looking towards the wisdom of the elders, of the people who have walked this path before you. And you can see she is on a path. You have to honor the wisdom of those who have walked the path before you and sort of trust their guidance, even if it is new for you. It is not new in general. Okay. And so ask and you shall receive. Lovely, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you next week. Enjoy the new moon. Try to stay relaxed the best of your ability. Okay. And if you want more guidance, more clarity, more information, especially around the new moon, energy, if you want that workbook, if you want the workshop, join my Patreon. Okay. They get it for free over there. It's included in their pricing. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.